Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Developed in the 1950s, the Boeing B-52 is a strategic bomber with a large payload capacity and long range. The United States military deployed the B-52 in the Cold War, the Vietnam War, and several other war zones, such as Iraq and Afghanistan. It is capable of flying up to 9,000 miles while carrying up to 70,000 pounds of ordnance, which is why the U.S. military has been using the B-52 for almost 65 years and still plans to keep this iconic aircraft flying for several more decades. The B-52 is capable of carrying both conventional and nuclear weapons, which are loaded by a specialized team of munitions airmen. Initially, the airmen transported weaponry from the storage to the hangar bay using bomb lifts and jammers. The B-52's bomb bay is opened manually, and the airmen, while standing on folding ladders, physically align and mount the munitions onto the designated loading points of the B-52 bombers. Boeing designed the B-52 in a way that allowed it to carry multiple bombs at a time. While this was effective, it did not allow the aircrew to alter the weapon type mid-air. For this reason, the B-52 was upgraded, and a new technology named Common Strategic Rotary Launcher, or CSRL, was introduced, which could not only carry a range of missiles, bombs, and smart munitions, but also allowed the aircrew to quickly change the weapon type at the flick of a switch. CSRL not only offered significant firepower, but also dramatically increased the overall mission flexibility. It takes almost 11 hours to load the CSRL with weaponry. Once fully loaded, the crew puts it on a trailer attached to a vehicle, which transports it toward the aircraft. For installation, the rotary launcher is placed exactly below the bomb bay of the B-52 aircraft. The CSRL is then raised and mounted inside the bomb bay, leading to the final step of the installation, which is closing the bomb bay carefully. Once loaded with ordnance, the B-52 is ready to roll. The U.S. Air Force takes less than 10 minutes to kickstart the engines using explosive charges and get the B-52 in the air to carry out bombing campaigns. As the B-52 reaches the mission location, it releases the munitions out of its bomb bay, leaving a trail of smoke behind. The U.S. Air Force has also launched hypersonic missiles, like the Boeing X-51 Waverider from the B-52 Stratofortress. The X-51 is an unmanned research scramjet experimental aircraft that can fly at speeds of Mach 5 or approximately 3,300 miles per hour. As the name implies, the Waverider remains airborne using the compression life produced by its high-speed shock waves. The X-51 resembles a missile much more than an aircraft, mainly because it cannot take off from the ground itself. Rather, it is launched from an airborne B-52 Stratofortress. Unlike traditional weapons that are loaded inside the bomb bay, the X-51 is attached to the left wing of a B-52. However, its launching mechanism is quite similar to that of traditional weapons. Once launched, the X-51's direction can be changed using a series of fins located at the rear side. As the X-51 is capable of attaining hypersonic speeds, the experts suggest that scramjet engines are the key to unlocking the next level of high-speed capabilities. For this reason, various flight tests were conducted to get as much data as possible from the X-51 and incorporate this information into future versions. The Waverider made history on May 1, 2013, when it attained a speed of Mach 4.8 and flew for 210 seconds until running out of fuel and plunging into the Pacific Ocean. It was considered the longest air-breathing hypersonic flight, which put an end to this program. In the U.S. Air Force, a munitions squadron is responsible for building and assembling different types of munition for the B-52 Stratofortress. On October 16, 2019, the airmen assigned to the 2nd Munitions Squadron built 30 non-explosive BDU-50 bombs. Each component was thoroughly inspected and tested before it was attached to the bomb. A cart carrying the BDU-50s was towed to the location, and the components were lined up by the airmen, ready to be attached to the BDU-50s. After inspecting the bombs from both inside and outside, airmen screwed the caps onto the BDU-50s and ensured they were secured properly. Later, they screwed fins on the rear side of the bomb, which are used for mid-air directional control. This exercise required the airmen to follow proper steps and ensure the bombs were built correctly. Bombs are sometimes deemed out of order, so the U.S. Navy and the Army formed an alliance to take unserviceable Navy bombs, refurbish them, and return them to the warfighter in new-like conditions. When bombs come to the crane, they are inspected to determine whether or not they can be repaired. The most common defect that makes the bomb unusable is damaged coating. The bombs considered repairable are placed on a conveyor system to initiate the renovation process, including thermal coating removal, recoating, curing, and palletization. The U.S. Air Force meticulously maintains the B-52 fleet at their state-of-the-art hangars, as these bombers are slated to command the skies into the 2050s. Unlike many of its contemporaries, the B-52 did not end up in a dusty graveyard. The higher payload capability, extended range, and ability to employ both nuclear and conventional standoff weapons allowed the bomber to serve a multitude of missions. However, to keep up with the demands of modern warfare, the bomber had to undergo continual upgrades. Till 2014, the B-52 pilots had to rely on vintage avionics with CRT displays and pressure gauges. Through the Combat Network Communications Technology, or Connect modification, the bomber leveled up with a digital cockpit carrying LCD screens, communication data links, and an integrated computing network. The bomber was initially equipped with Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojet engines, and starting from the B-52H model, the engine was upgraded with advanced Pratt & Whitney TF-33 turbofan engines. These engines are in use to this date and have contributed to the success of the B-52 Stratofortress. Out of all the upgrades, the B-52 is getting ready for a new lease on life with the proposed new engine upgrade under the Commercial Engine Replacement Program. All 76 operational B-52H models will be upgraded to J models as new Rolls-Royce F-130 engines replace Cold War-era TF-33 engines. Boeing, as the manufacturer of the B-52, plays a key role in the engine replacement program. Boeing has set up a test facility at the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex in the Tinker Air Force Base to test the compatibility of the new engine with the existing airframes. The facility serves as a testing ground for the engineers as they get the opportunity to work with a real-world B-52 airframe. The Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex is already undertaking depot-level maintenance and modifications on various aircraft and engines. The complex is home to nearly 9,500 employees who clock more than 4 million maintenance hours per year. Out of 64 facilities, there are anechoic chambers to test new radar systems in an electromagnetic interference-free environment, hush houses to test engines, and microanalysis equipment for metallurgical analysis. This facility could be a great asset for the B-52 during the engine replacement program and beyond. Moving the B-52 airframe from the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base to the testing facility was a task of its own. The airframe is nearly 160 feet long and requires a special truck for transportation. It traveled a total distance of over 1,500 miles, staying on the road for more than a month to reach the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex. The airframe was taken from a decommissioned bomber lying on the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base boneyard. The Boeing B-52 has outlived nearly every other Cold War aircraft, proving its adaptability time and again. Its story is not just one of longevity, but of reinvention, as the B-52 remains a cornerstone of American air power and a symbol of engineering built to last. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.